time like this, when development takes the center stage in national discourse, an innovative response to multidimensional challenges of urbanization is required. Kwara State is keying into this as Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq has unveiled the Ilorin Master Plan and the 20,000-hectare Ilorin Smart City project. As the government, in partnership with the private sector, is set to spend 1.7 trillion naira in the next 4 years to develop the first phase of the Ilorin Smart City, modeled after major sustainable, green and smart cities across the world. The unveiling of the Smart City project is part of activities marking the governor's 5th anniversary in office. Let's share the story by TVC News senior reporter Ibrahim Alega with you.
Kwara State was created in 1967 with Ilorin as the state capital. It had its first master plan as the capital city in 1976. Since then, no pragmatic attempt was made to improve on the old master plan until Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq in 2022 came up with a new urban master plan to reposition the capital city. The new master plan is here, being launched as part of his administration's 5th anniversary celebration.
Population growth has far-reaching social consequences in the area of infrastructure risk, health risk, security risk, amongst others. We are damned if we do not plan for it. As leaders, we have the duty to address the challenges of now and plan for the realities of tomorrow. This is the reason for the Ilorin Master Plan, which has in turn given birth to the Ilorin Smart City, both of which are officially launched today.
The Ilorin City Master Plan has been designed to improve the standard of living of both the populace and to make the city a tourist destination by making it more attractive to both local and international investors. Additionally, the new Ilorin City Master Plan will pave the way for the next major infrastructure, residential, economic developments in the city. Ultimately, the goal is to make Ilorin the best city in the country to live in.
It's a new dawn in Kwara. Our lives don't get better. Dividends of democracy, our people don't enjoy.
One major subset of the Ilorin new master plan is the establishment of the Ilorin Smart City. Expected to cover 20,000 hectares of land, the Smart City is an innovative response to multidimensional challenges of urban living that now confronts Ilorin, including congestion and the attendant pressure on the existing infrastructure. The proposed Smart City is modeled after major sustainable green smart cities across the world.
The first phase of this ambition project covers 11,000 hectares with an estimated 1.7 trillion naira funding requirement from public-private investments between now and the next 4 or 5 years. I urge everyone to pick a copy of the development plan for a better understanding of its components. To achieve this vision, some sacrifices will have to be made, but eventually it will be worth it.
Designed to host 540,000 residents, the Smart City is expected to have a business district, an enterprise zone, an industrial park, and 3 commercial districts. It is also expected to have state-of-the-art social amenities, including metro light rail and electric train, internet facilities, solar energy, wind energy, and an independent renewable energy. It is also to feature 15% green space provision and 50 square meters of green space per individual.
My team and I are proud to have laid a solid foundation for a future of sustainable living for the people of Kwara State. But we cannot do this alone. This therefore, it begins a new chapter of urban planning and smart living. We invite public-private investors who would put our people at the center of this masterpiece design.
The Ilorin Smart City project will cover 20,000 hectares of land along Okiose and Okoye axis in Ilorin East and some parts of Ilorin South local government area of Kwara State. Ibrahim Alige, TVC News, Ilorin.
Right, gentlemen, several historic projects to mark the 50th anniversary of Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazaq's administration. Well, I mean, most significant is this 20,000 hectare smart city prototype. Okay.
Yes, it's part of the plans rolled out by the governor to to improve the master plan of the state capital, especially. This plan is more comprehensive than what was done in 1976, 9 years after the state was, in 1976, 9 years after the state was created. And the government has already set machinery in motion. For example, it's going to reclaim all the setbacks along major roads like Unity, Taiwo Road, Muritala Mohammed Road, Sulugambari Road, Tanke Road, Ahmadu Bello Way, which is along the road where the government house is located. Most shops, especially those of them with extensions, are going to be removed. And the major markets like Ojaoba, Ediakpe, Ojagboro, and even Pakata would also be affected because these roads are already ill-reputed for, these markets are already ill-reputed for encroaching on the roads leading to them, thereby causing traffic gridlock in those areas. So the good thing is that some of these traders are already demolishing their structures, especially those of them who are aware that the government needs these setbacks to be able to expand the roads and in line with the new master plan, the upgrade of the master plan of the state capital that this government is committed to. I am excited about some of what I heard the government intends to do in fulfillment of its vow to build a new smart city out of Ilorin. And the new smart city here would be located in Okoye and Okiose. Anybody who went to Kwara College of Technology, now Kwara Poly, will be familiar with all that area, and then the Ilorin Teaching Hospital area and parts of Ilorin South. So, and this smart city will include an industrial park, an enterprise zone, 3 commercial districts, 15% green space provision, 50 square meters of green space per individual. The government has not got the money to do this alone, so it's going to work with the private sector to deliver the first phase, which it expects to finish within 4 to 5 years. 1.7 trillion will be needed to deliver this first phase, and the government will be working with the private sector. This is the way to go. Government will never be able to find enough money to freshen up infrastructure across our country. There is a need to work with the private sector, and there are different ways to do it. It could be build, operate, and transfer, which is common across the world. In our country, we have not been able to add a new refinery since the 80s when the last set of refineries were built. But a country like Angola, based on the build, operate, and transfer module, have been able to deliver a brand new refinery. So we need to, rather than simply award contracts, as they usually do in the Federal Executive Council, they need to explore the possibility of working with the private sector, working with investors even from outside of our country to help deliver infrastructure that is very beneficial to our people, because they will never be able to find enough money to do that all by themselves. So it's kudos to Governor Abdulrazaq. I see some revolutionary thinking. I just pray that it will be focused, and within 4 to 5 years, as they promised, we'll see this new smart city delivered.
Adoye, what does this mean for the people of Kwara State? The governor also talked and then commissioned CNG station, flagged off distribution of 16,000 textbooks across basic schools and some other projects.
Well, for me, I think I'm familiar with Kwara State. It's a place I've lived in the past. And I have a bit understanding of the political and historical culture there. The state was created in 1967, one of the oldest states in Nigeria. But the unfortunate thing for that state is that since 1967, a particular group has been in control of the political structure, either directly or by proxy. And this was reenacted in 1999. So for 20 years, Kwara State suffered a lot of affliction in terms of development, in terms of reaching out to rural areas. Conception of development was built on tokenism. People going on Fridays to go and queue up in somebody's home, collecting what they will eat for that day, and go to the toilet the second day. To the extent that even Ilorin, that is the capital of that, had no piped water, So this culture was defeated in the last election. I must tell you that when the current governor emerged, I didn't have much hope in him. Because I wasn't familiar with his background, except that his father was the first senior advocate of Nigeria, first lawyer in the North. But what I'm saying, I'm actually inspired. If you look at Kwara State, averagely, maybe Kwara State gets about 7-point-something billion as allocation from the federal government. And it's one of the states that you can't say it's really rich. No oil, no. And there's also, when you look at the net allocation for 2023 was about 101 billion. Just a little bit higher than what Nasarawa State gets, got. So it's not to say that actually has a lot of potentials, in terms of money and all that. But you see, the current governor has proved that the greatest human resource is the brain. I've been following him, and I think I'm impressed. Kwara State is the 9th largest state, about 36,000 square kilometers. So it's very huge and all that. But in terms of development, there's not much. One thing you should realize that, when we're talking about these smart cities, that it's talking about to house 440,000 people. What is the population of the entire Kwara State? 540,000 residents. The population is about maybe roughly 3.5 million. So this housing smart city will house more than 10% of the entire population of the state. So you can imagine how lofty this project is. And it's not just a dream. It has started on the basis of practice. We are seeing people are working on it and all that. So I think I'm really impressed by what we are seeing in Kwara State. The past 6 years or thereabout, I think is far more than what we have had, since 1999. Right. And I just hope that it continues this spirit. And when it lives in the next 2 years, I hope somebody with the same vision will be able to continue. That's
very important, because all politicians understand that governance is a
That's why most governors want to put their own person there, because it can be terrible if you had bright ideas and somebody took office and refused to continue with your plans. If you go to Ogun State capital, you go to the secretariat, you see turbines, power turbines, heavy-duty power equipment that the government of Bengadane bought with the intention of electrifying the state. It's rotting away there because the next government refused to even look in that direction. And you have to ask yourself, what is the gain of governors who behave like this? Somebody has spent so much money, to bring these things into our country. You need to see those turbines. You know that turbines are naturally very big. They are there, overtaken by wheat. It's terrible. The day I saw this, I said, what's going on? Why do we do this to ourselves? So a governor who has seen that happen would want to do his best to put somebody who is chummy with him in the hope that that person will at least be able to sustain his own ideas. But it doesn't always happen. And when they quarrel, he would not want to have anything to do with something that his predecessor started, even if it is in the overall interest of the people. This is the way Nigerian politicians are, and that's why some of us don't want to have anything to do with them.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's move on.